We just got to our hotel. We are in Fort Mills, South Carolina, and this is the True Hotel. We've never stayed in one of these before, but so this is what it looks like when you're walking in. So it's got the, I think it's like laminate, but it's a big full-length mirror here, which is, I don't know why any hotel doesn't have that. Most do, but you know, you can hang some stuff on this nifty guy here. And then you've got a little bench area there under the TV. Over this way, you've got a little refrigerator. And then if you want to do some ironing, I don't do it at home, I'm not doing it on vacation. And just a little table I stuck some bags on, and there's a place here you can hang some clothes. And then so there's like no closet because that's your closet area. And so there's the bed. I love this bedspread. I would totally have that at home. It's got a cool like shade thing there. And then we've got a desk. I mean, we don't have a great view or anything, but that's okay. We're mostly just gonna be here to sleep anyway. So, and then I'll come around this way and show you. So pretty cool. Like just simple and no frills. That's all we need. We're spending the night here, going to Carowinds all day tomorrow, and then we'll spend the night again and leave early the next morning. So, and then the bathroom here, sink, vanity area. Got this fun design wallpaper. I'll have to do some recording down in the lobby. Is really cool. And then it's a nice big shower. So, and then just back out this way. So that is our room for the next 2 nights. These hotels have a really cool lobby because we ended up staying in 2 of this same type, the True hotels. And they were very similar, but a little bit different. But they have just really fun, like modern decor that's colorful, and I don't know, it's just a lot different than most hotels that we stay in. And I thought it was really fun. I love they all have like a mural. Well, the 2 that we were in, both had a mural for the area that you're in, which I thought was really cool. It kind of shows, you know, and you saw the roller coaster on there because of Carowinds. So pretty cool. Thanks, Mr. Coffee Man. So the next day was Carowinds time, and we were really excited. We go to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio several times every year, like from when they open in May till when they close in October. And so we are just big amusement park people, so we were like, this is going to be an awesome way to kick off our anniversary trip. So this was actually the first ride that we rode when we got in there, and it's pretty cool because I think I might show it again later, like so you can see it from a different angle, but it takes you up backwards and drops you, and then you go through, you know, the loops and this kind of stuff here, and then it takes you back up and it stops you up at the top when you'll kind of see how it gets there and hold you for a second, and then it drops you backwards, so you do the whole thing backwards. So that was pretty fun. And it's funny because we ride a lot of roller coasters. My husband doesn't really get, like, his stomach, you know, doesn't get woozy or whatever very often, but he said this one actually did that to him just because it was a totally different feel than what we're used to riding. So that was like you're going backwards the whole time. So pretty cool. Up next was Copperhead Strike, and we were really looking forward to this because it had a similar, those are like the cars we sit in, a similar look to it as Maverick does at Cedar Point, and Maverick is one of our favorite roller coasters, so we were really excited to go on this ride, and I will say it is a lot of fun. Everything, like their theming as you go through, which I don't think I totally recorded a lot of it, but as you can see there, you get a lot of hang time on the loops, but it was somewhat similar to Maverick, but not really. It wasn't nearly as fast and stuff. It was a really fun ride, but it doesn't touch Maverick. But we really had a lot of fun on it. And like I said, you get a lot of hang time. Now this is right when you come out of the station. It immediately takes you into a barrel roll that's really slow. So you're hanging upside down slowly, and that is like the start of the ride, which is very unique, unlike anything we've been on before. So that was really fun. Now this right here is Fury 325, and that's because it's 325 feet tall. I had never ridden something that high. I was nervous about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. And so we ended up going on it twice while we were there. And even the very first time I went on it, arms up on the first hill, I was so proud of myself. And we had so much fun on it. It covers almost the whole park. And I'm kind of going to show you a little picture thing here. You could pause on it if you want to be able to see better. But this particular ride, now this is just a picture when we were standing in line, but this particular roller coaster kind of goes around the perimeter of most of the park. This is an area where you're walking through, and it kind of goes underneath. So that kind of shows you the track and how it goes all around the park there. That ride you see in the back there is called Thunder Striker. We went on it. It wasn't that great. This is actually called Nighthawk. We did not go on it because you lay down, and I have a lot of issues with migraines and neck issues, so I have to be really careful. I kept telling Brian, like, go on it, because it's a different type of a ride, but he didn't want to, but the track was cool. And so I believe, was this Hurler, maybe? Is there wooden roller coaster? So just kind of a shot of that. And there's some things that we didn't ride there, that were ones that are kind of like rides that we already know, which I'll kind of show you that Cedar Point has as well. The Carolina Cyclone is what I'm speaking of, because it is basically the corkscrew at Cedar Point, and it's a pretty boring ride, and it like totally hurts our necks when we ride it, so we haven't ridden it now. We took our niece on it because she wanted to, but then she even agreed. She's like, that hurts. I'm like, I know, never mind. So we don't ride that anymore. But that's basically what the Carolina Cyclone is the corkscrew. And it just is cool throughout the park, the way like it goes over where people are walking and stuff. But other than that, like, no big thrill. So we didn't feel, like we were missing out. There was another ride called the Vortex that we rode, and I don't think I got it on camera at any time. So that was a mistake on my part, but we did ride this Ricochet, and we were like cracking up, but it jerks you around big time, and kind of makes a little dizzy. There is Wild Mouse, at Cedar Point that is kind of similar, but the cars spin on that one, and we do on it sometimes, but usually feel kind of gross for a couple minutes after, so we kind of just decide if we feel like doing that for the day or not. But they had a lot of like fair type rides, I would say, more than like big roller coasters here. This park is much smaller than Cedar Point. They have the flying swings over there like Cedar Point does that I really enjoy. So we actually didn't get to ride those that day, but then Brian actually is going to ride this, which you will see him in just a second. But I felt like we both did. Carowinds we didn't feel like it is much smaller. Okay, that's that first ride that we rode that I showed you, and so that just kind of gives you a different perspective how it pulls you up and shoots you through the loops and then goes the other way. So while you're watching that, I'll finish telling you this. But basically, Carowinds has a lot more fair type rides, less of the big exciting roller coasters, and just is a much smaller park overall. They're both owned by Cedar Fair, and so we thought there would be a lot of things similar, and you do see some similarities, but we both agreed the food at Cedar Point is way better, and there's just a lot more options because it's a bigger park. So while we did have a super fun time this day, we both agreed, we realized how lucky we are to have Cedar Point, and it's still 3 hours away from where we are. So every time we go there, which we just recently went 2 Fridays in a row, and we just drive down there in the morning. We get there before the park opens. We stay till it closes and drive home. So we don't get home till like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, whatever it happens to be. But we love it, and so it's worth it to us. But yeah, there's Brian over there rocking out, getting ready to ride this. Now, I can do roller coasters all day long, and I feel fine. You put me on any kind of spinning type thing like this, and I'm done for the whole day. So I just know not to get on those types of rides. But Brian likes them, so I'd let him ride and be, I don't know, living his best life, I guess. But I don't need to do it. So, but this is just an example of like a fair type of ride that they had there. that is very different than Cedar Point. We don't have a ride like this at Cedar Point. So, but again, there's a lot of rides at Cedar Point that they didn't have here. But you wouldn't want them to be the same types of parks, or why would you ever want to go to another one, right? But yeah, we absolutely realized how incredibly lucky we are with Cedar Point's variety of roller coasters and big coasters, and with like unique, fun elements to them that we love so much, and we like never get tired of going on. So this was just a really fun start to our cruise vacation, and we were so glad we did it. And we agreed, though, I don't know that we ever need to go back. Like, neither of us. Oh, that was like Windseeker, those giant like flying swings, which I actually did go on the last time we were at Cedar Point. So I was proud of myself for doing that. But this area is like Camp Snoopy, which Cedar Point also has. So it's like a kids area. And so that had a similar kind of a feel to Cedar Point. Although Cedar Point has two different like Snoopy area kind of kids things. So again, being a bigger park, it makes sense that it would have more options like that for families and stuff. That's the Thunder Striker that I talked about. And we went on it and we were like, kind of underwhelming. Like, that first hill is the biggest part of it, but it's like there's not really any elements of it that are very exciting. But I love the feel of these types of parks. That is something I will say that you could tell the Cedar Fair, realizing that they both are owned by the same company, being Carowinds and Cedar Point are owned by Cedar Fair, because you just have a similar feel to the park. And so it felt a little bit like familiar with also being different. And so that was really fun to both of us as well. And so we just enjoyed walking around. It was a cold day. It was very cold. We were not expecting that it was going to be like that. As you saw, I had like a headband because I had to have my ears covered because of the wind. And we were in sweatshirts. And I mean, it was definitely not the weather we were expecting when we were going down there. We did know, we saw, like, we were watching the forecast, so we did know it was going to be cold. But I'm saying ahead of time, thinking going to, North Carolina, South Carolina, because the park is actually split. That's Fury 325 going up the hill there. But the park is kind of split by both states. You get to be in both states when you're in the park, which is really cool. We were thinking in April like it was going to be warmer, and it really was not any warmer than Michigan at the time. So that was a little bit of a surprise to us. It actually, later in the day, the sun came out more, and it was the warmest later in the evening. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, just giving you kind of a view around the park, how it looks, that kind of thing if you're into amusement parks. We definitely agree Fury 325 was by far the best ride in the park. And then we did enjoy Copperhead Strike. But if you're a amusement park enthusiast and you just want to get around to every park, cool. But otherwise, I wouldn't say this is a park that I would like tell people, oh, you have to go there, it's amazing, because it just doesn't have that many rides. And the park was only open till 8 o'clock, and that was fine because we were really ready to go by then, because there's just really not that much to do to be able to fill like an entire day. Like at Cedar Point, we feel like, we can spend the whole day there from open to close and whatever. This is the line that runs through and shows you North Carolina and South Carolina. So there I am, where the Carolinas come together. And we had a great day. I'm so thankful for that trip.
Oh no.
You can't open the door when you're so busy posing. Come on in. Check out our crib. I already did a tour yesterday when it wasn't messy. And I called this place Fort Mills, South Carolina. It's Fort Mill.
It's Fort Mill.
Sorry.
There's only one.
Sorry, Fort Mill. Good day at Carowinds.
Awesome day.
And now, to get some rest, head on for our next leg of the journey.